A few years ago, my life looked really good. I had a nice house, I had a good job, a job that I loved. I was going on holidays. My mum and I went to Europe together. And from the outside, anyone looking in would have said, Bet is doing really, really well. And in a lot of ways, I was. But inside, something felt a bit off. I couldn't quite name it. I wasn't exactly unhappy, but I wasn't feeling quite right either. And the most confusing part about this was that I felt really guilty for feeling this way because my life was good. In comparison to so many others in the world, what did I really have to complain about? And that's why I made this video for those of you who really get what I'm talking about. So by the end of this video, you'll understand why this happens, why capable, high achieving women can have everything they worked for and still feel like something is missing. And more importantly, you're going to understand what's actually going on underneath it. And the answer might actually surprise you, might not be what you think it is. So what's really happening when you feel like this? Well, here's what I've come to understand. And I kind of wish that somebody had told me about this earlier. There are two versions of your life running at the same time, right? The external version, like what we've built, what you've achieved, how things look from the outside. And then there's the internal version. So how aligned you feel with all of it. And for a lot of high performing women, those two versions don't actually meet. The external version, it looks great, but the internal version feels a little bit out of whack, but you can't quite figure out why, because nothing is technically wrong. And because nothing is technically wrong, you often don't address it. You tell yourself you'll deal with it when things calm down, perhaps, or when I've got a bit more time. You tell yourself that other people have real problems, that you don't have anything to complain about, or you tell yourself that you should just be grateful for what you do have. And so what happens is that we push through, we keep achieving, we keep showing up for everyone else because that's what we're good at. And it feels really good to take care of other people. And so this slightly out of whack, uncomfortable feeling just stays with us internally. And so here's what's actually happening. Most of us spend years, decades even, building a life based on what we thought we wanted, what we were told we should want, and what success is supposed to look like. And we're good at it because we're capable, we work hard, we deliver. But at some point, often when we've actually achieved a lot of that, when we've already built this incredible life, we realize that we've been so busy building life that we've forgotten to check in on whether it's actually the right one, the one that we actually wanted to build, the one that feels right to us. And so that feeling that something is off, it has a name and it's called misalignment. So your external life and your internal life, or your external world and your internal world, if you like, they're not speaking the same language. And your nervous system knows it. That's why you feel it. Even when your brain is still telling you everything is fine, that's what you can feel, that uncomfortable, out of whack feeling. And so the thing that most people miss, the reason that most women stay in this place for a long time is that they're trying to solve it at the wrong level. And the frustrating thing is the more you think about it, the more you go around and around in circles. You journal, you talk it through, you may even get to a point where you think you understand yourself really well. And still, nothing changes. Nothing shifts that out of whack feeling. And that's because the answer isn't in your head. It lives somewhere deeper than that. And I know this because it happened to me. And it wasn't until I worked on it at the right level that something actually changed. And when it did, the change stuck. So if you're watching this and you're recognizing this feeling, whatever it is that you call it, or maybe you're like me, you can't even name it. Life looks good on paper, but something just isn't quite right. That gap between the external and the internal, that's exactly what I'm going to be talking about in a free live masterclass that I'm running very soon. So it's called You Know Better. So why can't you do better in the moment? And it's specifically for high performing women who know what to do and still can't seem to do it. So if that's you, this is worth an hour of your time. That's all it's going to cost you. So to register, I've dropped the link in the description below. I'll see you there.